Peter can be credited with the grand vision of Utah's technology landscape that you see today, and he brought others on board to make this dream a reality. I remember actually meeting Peter, and I think we both looked a little bit younger. This was in the early 90s. We couldn't afford to be part of UETA. I think it was a couple $100. I didn't ever have time to go. I thought it would be so cool, but how on earth do you get to find time to go to these meetings? But it was a wonderful foundation. UETA became the Utah Technology Council in 2006. In 1975, Peter was nominated as Secretary of the U.S. Government Services Administration and was an assistant secretary in the Treasury Department. Peter has also received an honorary doctorate from Salt Lake Community College in 1995. And now a few words of congratulations from Peter's friends and colleagues. To the video.
I first met Peter General back in early 1991 when he had just been appointed as the president of UETA. Peter was a hearty, well-met man with a big handshake and a big smile to go along with it. The man simply had charisma. The early days of UETA were both fun and challenging, and Peter had this favorite expression about the intergalactic headquarters of UETA. The intergalactic headquarters of UETA were actually Peter's basement in his home in Sandy. But we would get together with 4 to 5 members of the board, and it was remarkable how Peter took this group of strong-willed entrepreneurs, he organized them and managed them into what became a very successful venture with UETA.
The 1990s will be remembered as a golden era in Utah. The population was growing, our economy was strong, the Olympics were on the way, technology was expanding, and Peter General and UETA were right at the heart of that. It was our comparative advantage, it was our new economy, it was the future. Coming out of the 80s, our economy wasn't strong. Governor Banger, to his credit, organized a task force to look at what the technology sector could do, and from that, UETA was created, and Peter General became the lead executive. And from a very small beginning, this state became a tech powerhouse and gained a reputation. And in large measure, it was Peter who helped us understand not just what we had, but what we could become. That's the story. It's one of the reasons I think that Peter will be long remembered in Utah history as one of its great pioneers.
When we started WordPerfect in 1979, it was quite an uphill battle. It was like getting on a freight train, an old freight train, that was just barely moving down the track, and then it was screaming later on, and others like Microsoft had to spend a lot of money to get up to the same speed. And I see that Peter General did the same thing with UETA. He put his heart and his soul into starting that at a very early time when in Utah we had a lot of innovation in information technology, and he did a great job in getting UETA and the UTC started.
Peter has had a lasting effect, not just a shot in the dark, but a very lasting effect on who we are as a state. In 1988, we were losing 14,000 people a year outside the state of Utah because they didn't have jobs and they could support their families. And so we had a huge out-migration. By the mid-1990s, that started to reverse itself. And in 1995, you started to see a real growth starting to take place. Forbes rates Utah #1 in the economy for, I think, 7 of the last 8 years for a reason. And one of those reasons that they talk about most is the breadth of our economy, how strong we are across the board. The key to all of that was technology. Peter General had the concepts that not only strengthen us locally as far as a state, but regionally and internationally. And that's where we're at today. And so the state of Utah owes a great deal to Peter General.
Congratulations, Peter. You'll occupy an important place in Utah history.
Congratulations, Peter. The state of Utah and the IT sector have been very fortunate to have you share your vision and the leadership that you provided for the state. We thank you.
Well, Peter, congratulations. I have looked up to you. You're well deserving of this award. Congratulations to you.
There are a few people that make as much difference as you make in a state. You truly are one of the great heroes of the state of Utah. Thank you.
good friend, Jack Sunderledge, former chairman of the Utah Information Technology Association.
We've had the opportunity to read the bio of Peter General, and we've just viewed some glowing comments from key individuals who knew him well on his most impressive accomplishments while launching UETA. So I would like to share with you at this time a few thoughts about the more personal side of Peter. Peter joined IBM in 1958. It was a time when IBM was about to emerge as the most dominant company in the computer industry. Their large mainframes would rapidly become pervasive throughout the world. They were highly selective in hiring sales individuals. Their culture was one of excellence, and Peter made the team. This experience served him well as he prepared to later serve on the boards of national information technology associations. As we have heard, Utah was very fortunate to have Peter in our state in 1991. And he was positioned to assume a leading role as the tech sector was to be transformed and to lead out in establishing our prospering Utah economy. One of my favorite quotes by Mark Twain is, "Many people worry about things in the scriptures they don't understand. I worry about the things in the scriptures that I do understand." As it was with Mark Twain, it was with Peter. He understood what was needed. Peter had the vision and the ability to execute a plan to capitalize on the abundance of entrepreneurs who would, through a strong spirit of innovation, capture the moment. He was the right man at the right time and in the right place. Peter has always had a zest for life. A number of years ago, his sons Bruce and Steve were competing in a 5-day high adventure race in New Zealand. Peter was with them every step of the way as part of their support team. He had a zest in 1991, and today at age 83, he continues to have that zest. He still plays tennis a couple times a week, and with his large frame at 6 feet 5 inches tall, he hits a commanding first serve. His powerful forehand still wins more than his fair share of points. What is most impressive is his decision at age 83 to get up on water skis one more time. On the first day, he made 3 attempts, but he was unsuccessful. A bit disappointed, but not discouraged. On the second day, he made 3 more attempts, and again, he was unsuccessful. Now a bit more disappointed, but not discouraged. On the third day, he made 2 more attempts, also unsuccessful. Now very disappointed and somewhat discouraged, he decided to give it a 9th and final try. Out of water he came and up on the skis. Yes, it was this intense determination of the man that prevailed that day. Peter was overheard to state at the time, "It may not look like it, but there's a party going on in this old body." It was the same determination that brought the successful creation of UETA. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to hear from the guy that started all of this 25 years ago, the father of UETA, Peter General.
Jack, thank you very much, and bless all of you. Thank you so much for the warm greeting and the opportunity to be with you. I have a creation story that I want to share with you this evening. I don't have much time to do it, so stick with me. We're going to go pretty fast through it. It's getting late. But before telling the story, please know that I gratefully accept induction into UTC's Hall of Fame. I thank UTC for the privilege of being in the spotlight with Corrine and with Fraser, and clearly, as we all did, enjoy the presence of Tim tonight. And to all of you, I thank you for the opportunity to be before you. Let's be clear, I'm receiving this Hall of Fame honor, partly because of what I did, but mostly because I had a wonderful group of other people and organizations who participated in starting really 27 years ago, starting the creation and for 9 years leading UTC, excuse me, I get a little emotional on this, the predecessor to UTC. Also deserving recognition are friends and many individuals and organizations which participated in making it happen. Without their support and help, UETA simply would not have gotten going and become the foundation for my successor, Rich Nelson, to build on so successfully. To everyone who helped, know that you earned a share of my Hall of Fame recognition. So now let's get to the story, the creation story. This is my rendition 27 years ago when this all got started. So if I don't get it exactly right, forgive me, but close. UETA was experiencing a recession during the late 1980s. Then Governor Norm Bangerter was making every effort to identify and implement ways to stimulate job creation. In 1989, 27 years ago, he formed several industry task forces to focus on the information technology, or IT segment. I participated with 40 others from Utah's IT industry, as well as from education, service provider, economic development, and government sectors. Our task force co-leaders were Ron Oakey, then a state senator and partner with Jones Waldo, and Milt Russin, then an executive with Utah Power. The task force acquired some astonishing information. There were approximately 200, mostly small IT businesses identified at that point in time in the state of Utah. The average wage they paid was 35% higher than Utah's average wage. With this news, Governor Bangerter asked the task force to proceed with recommendations. His question, what could be done and by whom to provide ongoing assistance and leadership to this industry? The task force set forth interviewing IT industry business leaders, asking, what do you need to help your business succeed that alone you and your firm cannot provide? The needs became very clear, and hopefully there's a slide that you can read while I repeat them. Sources of funding, competitive taxes, laws, and regulations, graduates from education institutions that are appropriate to our needs and are work-ready, technology industry-related continuing education available here in Utah to our employees, and finally networking opportunities with our peers and providers of products and services that we need. Now, my prior experience included serving on a number of boards of national IT associations, and I suggested that we adopt the National Association model, but we emphasized that it be industry-led. Very important. The rest of the story, 25 years ago, started in 1991, the task force members recommended, and UETA was formed. I was elected as CEO. Lynn DeBry is in the audience tonight. Then partner of KPMG, its treasurer. Jim Birch, who isn't but very important. Then a partner of Jones Waldo was our secretary. They served with me for my entire tenure. The founding board of 15 members pledged financial support for the first 3 years. Pretty cool. That was great. The UETA's initial board chair was Dave Evans, who at the time was CEO of Evans & Sutherland and chairman of the University of Utah's Computer Science Department. Ray Norda, CEO of Novell, and the coiner of the word co-opetition, became the second chairman of UETA. Now, a startup couldn't have asked for more, and this is really important, it was to me, a growing, prosperous market with compelling, unfulfilled needs. A plan to address the needs, which by its market was validated, supported, and was willing to lead. Genuine collaboration with government, economic development, and service provider sectors. And a 5-star board and awesome chairman. So, it's a typical startup in my basement, and as was noted, with the prestigious but facetious name of Intergalactic Headquarters. Alone to start, we got going. So that's a brief summary of why and how UETA started and in 2006 became UTC. What's truly gratifying to me and really awesome for you is that during the 16 years since my tenure, UTC significantly has broadened its core constituency, increased its efforts and services, and absolutely clearly the quality of the results. Now, I want you all to do the following. I'm going to ask you to recognize the present leadership and staff and supporters of UTC who all deserve our heartiest acknowledgement and gratitude and our encouragement to keep raising the bar and jumping over successfully. And I invite everybody to stand and recognize present leadership. Please join me. In closing, tomorrow morning I'm hosting a reunion, and those attending and others invited were notables during UETA's creation period. This is the period when, we were going through the task force and getting the thing going. And so, in closing, with gratitude and on behalf of and including all of those who supported me and UETA in the creation, I'm calling you the UETA creation team. We thank you for our induction into the Hall of Fame, and my opportunity to share with you this evening the creation story. Thank you.